I swear to God, I come here for one fucking weekend, and there's just fucking gays dressed as animals on the fucking balcony. Can't they see them on vacation?
Do they think they're dogs?
I don't know. Do you think they're dogs? Because fuck it.
Annie, can you put the vodka down?
No! Listen, give me
I'm scared.
Give me my cigarettes.
I don't have any more Newport.
What the fuck is that with the ears? Oh!
Hello guys, welcome back to the Galaxy Cat Podcast. It's me, Donnie, and our special guest, Anthracite. Welcome, Anthracite. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, we know you're not, what's that word? Popular? Popular, but we don't care. We honestly don't care if you're popular or not. This is my second interview with someone who is quite cool. He's laid back, he's chill, doesn't know what his species name is, but we did make a little vote. And speaking of that, we actually made a vote yesterday. I'm gonna actually check that real quick before we get started. Let's see. Let's go ahead and check the vote channel. We made a vote on what the species name of Anthracite's OC should be. We said A for Cataroo, B for Kangacat, C for Jagaroo, which is a jaguar and a kangaroo, and D, Pussyroo.
The fuck is
Someone actually, and people actually voted for that quite a lot. But the most votes was Cataroo. So I guess, Anthracite, you're a Cataroo. Is that correct?
I guess so.
All right. Well, we found you your new species name. Better start using it. I mean, in my opinion, it's way better than Pussyroo. I mean. All right. So let's get down to it. I also want to thank everyone for coming in. We got plenty of listeners, a lot more than yesterday. Yesterday, we did do I guess what it was, a floppy podcast that didn't really go too well. But today is today, so let's go ahead and have some fun. Now, Anthracite, I've met you at the con, Philadelphia. I don't know if I met you once or twice. I probably met you once. And you're tall in that thing. How tall are you? Like 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, about 6'3".
Oh my God, you're tall.
I'm way too tall, and then the ears on the suit make it like another foot. So.
And I think 5'11" is like tall, but that's my height, and it really isn't. Like shit.
No, you're short.
Donnie, you're way more short. What are you, like 4'3", 4'11"? Anyways, so we're gonna do an interview between. I don't have any questions written down because I've been busy. I got a headache, so I've been just trying to relax, get ready for next work week, and have some fun. So, you want to explain? You want to tell stories about what specifically?
Just a few of the experience I've had at the cons.
Sure. So, tell me, what was it like to have that experience at conventions?
I mean, just having a fursuit at the convention. I mean, at least the way I do it, the way I've done it, is I usually go alone because I honestly don't have that many friends I go to conventions with.
Sorry to hear that, but hey, you'll make some new friends. You got friends here, right, everybody?
Yeah.
He got friends? Wait. Everyone can unmute their mics and say it. Does he have a new friend?
He has best friends.
Yes, Stitch.
Yes, we also got also got Stitch in the podcast.
We also have Kermit.
But continue. I'm sorry. I just want to make you feel less lonely.
Thanks for having me on the show.
No problem. So continue. I'm sorry for the interruption.
But I mean, being alone, especially as a fursuiter, I'm not sure if that's something that people in this chat will experience, but it's pretty difficult, honestly, because you have no handler. You're just sort of.
Oh yeah, that's got to be hard. I see plenty of fursuiters have handlers to walk with them so they don't bump into shit.
Yeah, and then the handler can hold their phone and give them water. And
yeah, where the hell do you put your phone in that thing?
I usually have like a little satchel I carry around. Most fursuiters use like a little backpack.
Oh yeah. Some wear backpacks or some like create little pockets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Pockets
So you've been to Anthrocon, one of the biggest furry cons in the world, or mostly the country, really. And this is in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
What is Anthrocon like?
Well, it was my first Anthracon last year, and it's pretty big. I mean, that's all I can say about it. There's a lot of people there. I mean, it gets pretty crowded at times.
And when it comes to a huge number of furries, you know, there could be good things and bad things. So what are the good things and the bad things about Anthrocon? Like, what were your experiences there?
I'll tell you one bad thing for me was there's so much space to walk around. You get like exhausted just trying to get from one place to the other.
I'm sure.
Especially
yeah.
in full suit.
And your fursuit's also black, so when
Yeah.
it comes to sunlight, naturally you absorb a lot of that sunlight.
Yeah, but the thing is, once you're outside, you know, the breeze gets going, and it makes it feel better.
It does. Like when, for example, with my monitor head, you see my monitor, my TV head, right?
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to feeling, like, despite I have 3 case fans, I don't have case fans on my body. So, if I'm cool up there, I mean, I still get a little bit hot up there if it's really hot, but those case fans keep me alive. So when I go outside and I feel that amazing breeze, it's so amazing. It's awesome. But
Yeah, when there's no breeze, of course, it is.
oh, it goes away instantly.
No, and then in the
Instantly.
black fursuit, it's like it's just terrible, but probably in a lot of fursuits too.
Yeah. Back then I used to actually have a Halo costume. It wasn't like one of those cool ones you see. This was like all store bought. Don't laugh, because back then I was a huge Halo fanboy, and I didn't have any money, and I didn't know anything about how to make cosplays, and I still don't really, but I got a bunch of this store bought stuff, and I got this like Halo jumpsuit. It would just have the drawings of Halo armor on it, and that would be it. I got like this Halo Master Chief helmet, gloves, and gauntlets. I wear steel toe boots. There was no armor plate. I didn't have anything, but I had like a plasma rifle, like a rare one that a company made years ago, and I'd go to the cons, but the problem is that I would look bigger. Like, I have so much stuffing. Like, I'd wear 2 shirts, a hoodie, 3 pairs of pants, and it was ridiculous. Like, I remember it was bad. And there was no fans in the helmet. That was before I knew anything about technology in general. Like, yeah, oof. But back to you. You know, would you like people to unmute their mics to talk with you, maybe, or do you want to keep?
That's their choice. I mean, I'd be fine with it.
All right, everyone, unmute their mics and say hello to Anthracite. If you have any questions, remember, take your time one by one. How about who wants to go first? Oh, Donnie, do you want to go first? Donnie, you're the co-host. You gotta do your job.
Okay.
do it.
I was gonna ask, like, have you ever thought about like installing like something to keep you cool inside of it? Like,
you mean like
gel
me?
pads? Yeah. Like
I mean,
gel pads or like a vest, something inside of it.
Well, I mean, a little like the ice packs and the gel pads. I've heard about those. I mean, I've seen the vest, but for the bodysuit, since I made mine a 2-piece where it's like almost like a shirt that you put on and then pants, the body part's actually very cool, and I can wear that like forever, and it doesn't get too hot. And for the head, I mean, a cooling thing would help in there. Like if I put an ice pack in there for a little bit, that would help for like maybe a few hours. Then, you know, you need to put those back in the refrigerator or the freezer, and there's not always one of those around. If I put a fan in there, it'd just be way too loud, and the hearing's already bad enough.
Yeah, that is also a concern, but it depends on what fan you get. Like, when I got my 60mm case fans, I also got them installed in Donnie's TV head, and also which I do need to ship out. They're quiet, but I think for a fur head, I guess that would be a little bit too big, but I don't know. You can figure out a way, because I've met some furries who do have case fans, and even some have them like in their bodies. It's actually kind of cool to keep them from dying or sweating less. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions for Anthracite? Anybody?
I had a question and then I forgot.
That's great, Donnie. That's amazing to hear. But yeah, if no one has any questions, then I guess we can just talk about fursuits or, other things.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
how
go ahead.
disorienting is it inside? Because you have those huge ears. Like, how disorienting? Like, how is your field of vision inside of it?
Well, that depends on some suits have more vision, some suits have less. I mean, I made mine. A lot of people make like the white part of the eyes out of plastic, and then they make the black part the mesh, so you get a very little, you can't see at all.
Oh yeah, mine has that.
Yeah, well, I made my eyes including the white part and everything completely out of mesh, so I can see out of all of them, So I got better vision than most people with it. But the funny thing about the ears though is that they're so big. When I first had the suit, I'd walk through a doorway and the ears would hit the top of the doorway.
Wait a minute. I think I've seen. I don't know if I have. But I think I might have seen you do that once or twice. And behind the TV head, I would just die. I'd be like this.
Heck of that Philadelphia. That was the first con I went to. So
that was the first one. It was my first too.
So I walked through a doorway and my ears would just hit the top, and I'd
just go whomp.
So now I got used to it. So every time I go through a doorway, I have to bend down or lean my head back. So
I think you should let the ears hit it. I think it's hysterical.
Every time he goes for a doorway, he does the
Oh, try going through a small door with a TV head, bro. Like the thing about having a TV head is that you have to be pretty cautious. It's like a baby. You really want to take care of it and make sure it doesn't hit anything. Like seriously. When I walk around TV head, sometimes I'm not aware on who's talking to me or who's yelling to me. Like if someone's behind me, if they're yelling, if they're 20 feet away, I could or maybe not hear them. They have to be in front of me for me to hear them. My hearing isn't terrible, but if someone's 50 feet or more away from me, if they're yelling out TV head and they want to talk with me, I'm not going to be able to really hear it. So it really kind of bugs the shit out of me sometimes. I've had people tap the screen. People have pat that top of my head roughly, which is kind of fucking ignorant. I really hate that. It's like people when they tell you to not tap the glass on goldfish bowls. Yeah. Now I feel bad for doing that when I was a kid to the fishes because now I feel their pain. But with fursuiters, every type of cosplayer deals with their harassment or some weird situations. What was your weirdest? Do you ever have any weird, almost inappropriate encounters with people?
I mean, not really though. Surprisingly, probably the closest thing I could say is a really tight hug with a lot of other fursuiters.
That has to feel pretty nice. Does it feel super fluffy and shit?
It does.
Oh my god. And that's the best thing about fursuits. When you hug them, it just makes you fucking happy. It makes me happy. I get all I feel like a kid again going to one of those big old parks, and I see a mascot. I'm like, oh, I want to hug him. But with a furry con, there's mascots everywhere. Some of them don't like hugs though, or some of them pretend. Aww. Some of them pretend to, but then when you hug them, they're like, "Oh, don't do that. Stop it."
Are you one of those people who you have to have ask permission to hug or something like that? Because there are a lot of people who you have to typically ask permission.
Well, when I see him, I'm definitely gonna hug him.
I never really cared that much about anything. People ask all the time, but they don't need to, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they do though, because you're right. Some people are super cautious.
There are three different huggers. There are the ones that lightly hug you quickly and just leave. I've had that happen to me sometimes. Two, there are the ones that hug you tight and it feels great, and they just stay there for a bit and then they take a picture of you. Or the crazy motherfuckers, which I'm glad I haven't encountered yet. They will glomp you. Not a hug tackle. They will flat out run to you and hug you, and that it's cute, but it's not safe because if I have a monitor head on, and if I fall, that thing's gonna break or possibly crack my neck. So that's not fun. Yeah.
Insert sound effect of glass shattering.
The funny thing is,
scary, dude, man.
no, the screen wouldn't shatter because it's made of plexiglass. It's actually quite flexible and durable. What's not durable is the plastic. That monitor head's from 1999. That's
1999 plastic. That's not really gonna hold up.
It's not
going to
hold up very well. It's not like severely weak, but the moment it like slightly, like I remember one time I had it on my bed, and since my floor is wood tile, like it's just flat out wood, it fell like it fell only just like maybe half of a foot, and just plastic and paint chipped off of it, like it got smacked by a bus.
Masterproof helmet.
Like, jeez.
I have this masterproof helmet on my dresser, and it fell onto my carpet floor, and it's made of like a plastic vinyl material, and the whole back of it, there's a crack splitting down it now.
But like with fursuits though, they're just like very lightweight and soft and shit. So if you drop it, boom.
Yeah, it doesn't really do shit because it's basically like a second layer of clothes.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like that, where it's just foam, so you can. I mean, people throw those around. People throw them at each other sometimes when they're messing around.
Yeah, but with
Hey, who wants to
TV
play
heads,
volleyball with his furry's head.
yeah, but like with TV heads, they're made of plastic, plexiglass, and some even have like bike helmets in there. So if that all breaks, it's totaled, it's fucked, it's done, or you have to make a whole new one. Really.
I'm sorry. I do have a few questions I'd like to ask. Sorry I was so late on it.
Yeah, you are late, but go ahead. Anthracite, you can take the questions.
Yeah. Sure thing. I noticed a big problem amongst the people who own a fursuit. So I want to ask you personally, because I know you probably have more experience on this. How do you keep a fursuit how do I put this, scent free? Like, how do you keep it from not?
How do you keep it from smelling like ass?
Basically. No, like, yeah.
You wash it.
You wash it.
Like,
I like that
how?
answer.
But how? But like,
you wash it like normal clothes. They wash it like normal clothes.
I think he's talking about like the big
yeah, hold on.
So
like,
let
ahead.
Anthracite speak.
Well, for the body, on most of them, you can just put it in the washer. And so first, you turn it inside out so it doesn't mat up the fur. And you just put it in the washer on cold, and that's pretty much it. And then you hang it up.
I'm talking more like the mask, like the
and then
those. Cause
I was on Instagram and I follow some furry. I forgot her name, but she she was doing a video of just it was so fucking funny. Her fursuit was in a dryer, and you could see her head just rolling around in there, looking happy as hell. And I'm just like,
I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that before on Reddit.
It's so fucking funny.
I don't know why, but I've always thought it was you couldn't machine wash those because someone told me that was impossible.
Some of them most of them you can't though. Here's how you clean the ones that you can't. Like mine, you can't.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a harder plastic base.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you make this spray out of like 90% alcohol you get from the drugstore, and you mix it with like a little bit of water and then some sort of like scent. Like I use strawberry scent.
Ooh, strawberries.
For like
can I eat it?
No, you can't eat the fursuit.
No, it's talking about the sand.
Oh.
Mm.
So you just put that in a spray bottle and you just spray it all over the inside, all over the outside, and that's what every fursuiter does for the heads you can't put in the washing machine.
Yeah, you can't because it'll either ruin it. Or, like, I can't throw my TV head in the washer machine, obviously.
Yeah, but your TV head isn't made of fur, so it doesn't hold in sense.
I can put it in the dryer, but that would be purposeless. It would there would be no point, but it would be a good way to ruin it. And it would be loud. I would just hear it go.
Yeah, probably.
Damn.
Yeah.
You just hear in the washer.
So what I do is I unscrew the 4 screws that hold it. I basically it separates in 2 parts. You have the mask piece and the body piece. What I do is I get some body spray, and I make it fancy and I spray some of that. It makes it smell good. I wash the screen. I get a compressed air can and I get dust and other shit that could have got stuck in there. I remember coming home from a con one day, and I shook my monitor head a little bit, and I think there was like a dead bug in there. I was like, ah! I was like, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yep, bugs can get inside of your TV head if you're not careful.
How does that even happen?
Well, since there are vent holes on the side, and since the screen isn't exactly curved, bugs can easily get in there if they want to. Or if, let's say, if I lay it on the grass, like a dumbass, which I have to do sometimes. Bugs get in there, but they kind of leave. They're like, oh, I don't like this shit. Ironically enough, when I first found the monitor head, it was infested with bugs like roaches and spiders. Yeah, gross.
Ironic.
I'm so glad you went through the I'm so glad you took the opportunity to clean it.
Yeah.
Thoroughly.
Oh, I definitely cleaned it. I cleaned the living shit out of it. I threw it in my dad's shower. I got like a bunch of soap and just fucking washed it, like aggressively. I aggressively washed that shit.
How do you eat?
360.
How do I eat? How do I eat with it on?
Yeah.
Well, I take it off, then I eat food, and I put it back on.
Shocking. I know, rooting stuff.
Very
Probably
exciting.
the same thing that Anthracite would do.
Yeah.
1,000 IQ right here.
But
except for some fursuits like mine, there is typically there is a hole inside the mouth for you to breathe. And I know some people, like I tried this out, like you could actually like drink water, or you can eat food through the hole.
Speaking of that, some TV heads, some monitors obviously don't have like a DVD slot, but some have a DVD slot that you can take advantage of. If it's by your mouth level, you can drink a straw with it. You can put like a cookie in there. With Donnie's TV head, she has a DVD slot on hers, and it's at perfect mouth level. I fit things through the DVD slot, like money or food, and I'm like, yes, she's gonna love this because she always eats food. So
she eats money. I'm joking.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did eat money though.
No.
Anyone else?
I've eaten paper before, but not money.
But anyways, I have a question for Anthracite.
What?
Anthracite, what do you think of TV heads? I'm quite curious.
I mean, all I remember is seeing that at Philadelphia 2017. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like,
yeah, that's when I also wore the tailcoat and shit.
Yeah, I remember that exact outfit. I remember seeing you around.
Yeah, that was like, was it like surprising? Were you like, oh shit, what the hell is this guy doing here?
I mean, it was out of the ordinary.
It definitely was. It like I'm surprised that furries like didn't get questionable or freaked out by it too much.
I mean, it's cool. So
I mean, it's still a cosplay. You're in a convention. If it's
exactly.
Cosplay.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
It's not like you're in a mall or some shit.
Oh yeah, some malls like if you dress up, they kick you out for some reason. So stupid. Mm-hmm. It's so stupid. I don't know why. I think it makes the mall more fun. If a guy could come in dressed like Santa Claus.
Okay. Okay. Let me stop you right there because I know the exact reason for that. Like I can walk into a mall.
Jack, you're really loud, my guy.
Oh, my bad.
You sound like Michael P. screaming into my ears.
I don't know how, but whatever. I can't fix that. You're gonna have to fix that on your end.
Yeah, let me go ahead and lower your user volume, see if that works. Oh, it's all the way up. What the hell? All right, now go, Jack.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying is, like some malls,
it's not working.
I can walk in there wearing a Kotsky cloak. Nobody gives a shit. But like if I walk in there with something that covers my face, then they're gonna,
that's the problem. They don't like things that cover your face.
Exactly.
I know why they do that too.
For obvious reasons, yeah.
Because if someone steals something, they can't identify the person. But what the hell?
That's
what
why,
the hell's a cosplayer gonna go?
Food.
What's a cosplayer gonna do stealing at a mall?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
if they're just walking around,
fucking iPhone.
If they're
Maybe
not if they're
so,
not
since
going into the stores, if they're just walking around and greeting people, then that's not a problem, really.
Hey, when you go in there, just take off the mask or take off that thing that.
Yeah, like when I go into
hides your face.
stores, when I go into stores, sometimes I ask if they're okay with the mask. If they say, "Oh, you have to take it off," I'm like, "All right, no problem. It's cool."
Yeah, like a lot of places don't like you doing that. Like
Some places are 100% cool with it though.
yeah, like but funny thing because they also treat backpacks with the same level. Well, but some
Some
places are
do,
starting to
some
open
do.
up. Yeah,
What
some
I was
places are
so
starting to
confused
open up
about. Oh, I'm
pullback.
sorry, Jack. What I was so confused about was I was able to lug in my backpack to the convention, and I wanted to ask Anthracite, how the security like is at Anthro, Ohio. Like, do they have to screen you as you go in, make sure you don't have anything harmful on you? Like, I'd be very surprised if they would let people in with these giant costumes and backpacks and not expect something to be like hidden in there.
Yeah.
It's a good point, but they never. No, I've been to a lot of furry cons. None of them. There's no security like that.
That's quite a security risk.
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some sort of like mass shooter or something, and then they're gonna.
No,
God forbid.
I made that same joke for the last BronyCon. Like, I bet you, like for the last BronyCon, some idiot's gonna.
Please
some idiot's
don't.
probably gonna.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah,
I hope to God that doesn't happen, but like.
That's what. But that's what happens when you don't do security checks right. Like, because if you look forward back, a furrycon got hit with a chlorine attack. Remember that? Not too
I don't
long
remember
ago.
that.
That happened?
Yeah. I don't know which furrycon it
Ridiculous.
was, but there was a furrycon that got hit with a like chlorine attack or something like that, and people had to evacuate. And it was all in the news, and the news people were laughing when they saw the fursuiters.
Actually reminds me of something.
It was so fucked up.
Actually, there was some pony convention where somebody called like SWAT team, so like a bunch of SWAT come up and
Oh, they swatted them?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
and
that
people
one I heard
were
about.
Isn't it
freaked
illegal
out.
to SWAT people?
Or no, Casey, it's like that one year of OhioCon we didn't go where someone tripped the fire alarm, and it was just people running over people. They were freaking out, trampling each other, trying to get out of of the convention. It's funny, but it was terrible because people got hurt.
Yikes.
It's just so it's I don't know the whole I don't know why some people want to fucking ruin conventions like that. Like
they're dickheads.
Think about it. These are trolls or just assholes who hate furries or hate cosplayers or just hate dorks or geeks in general, whatever. Like us. They don't like us.
That thing about like the fire alarm is actually illegal because it causes mass panic like that. Like,
Oh, it is illegal.
It's one of the caveats to the First Amendment where you can't yell fire in a movie theater because people panic and end up killing each other.
Hey,
Trying to get out
check
the
you
door.
out with the knowledge of the law.
You should be
Actually, ensuing panic is not protected by the First Amendment, so you can't use that as an excuse.
All right, what is this? A fucking
fuck
what is
up.
this? A law show right now?
But it's true though. Whoa! I just realized you just.
But
fucking
I think
went
what's
off
more
tangent.
I think what's more illegal and pathetic is people getting a whole SWAT team to show up to a fucking. Can you imagine what the SWAT guys are like? Really, seeing some like bronies
Yeah,
and they were like,
arrest the guy who actually called in the
What
SWAT
con that
team
was?
for a false
It wasn't
report.
the PonyCon.
did the guy who made the call ever get arrested or did he just get off scot free?
I have no idea.
I mean, Keemstar has done that multiple times, and he hasn't been arrested.
Wait, he's made SWAT
And he's
calls?
done that on camera. Like, there's proof of him swatting people.
It was Harmony Con Dallas. That's what it was. Okay, so
That's weird. I never heard of
Yeah.
Keemstar actually doing that. But anyways, back to the subject. What is now? You've been to multiple furry cons as well, right? What is the worst one you've ever been to, and what's the best one? Besides Anthrocon, obviously, because you would obviously say that's the best one.
Yeah, well, that is the best one. So what else?
All right.
Well,
Like, what's the shittiest one you ever been to? Like, oh my god, I never want to go to this one ever again.
I can't call it shitty, but it just was like less fun than the other ones, and that would be Furpak back up in Connecticut.
What was it, like small, or people like boring or something like?
It's a pretty decent convention. It's pretty nice, but honestly, it's just the people there are definitely the weirdest.
Define weird.
That's what I'm saying.
I can go into this more later. I've gotten used to it so much at this point that it doesn't really bother me.
Oh, what did they do to you?
No. There's just so many people there wearing those neoprene dog masks.
Oh God, you mean the leather dog
God.
masks?
Yeah. Oh fuck no.
Oh no.
That's.
I've seen those at Philadelphia. I think I high-fived one by accident.
No, but there's really like a million of them at Fur Park. Like I don't know, that's where they all go, I guess.
I think they really shouldn't identify as furries though, because a furry and that is a whole different thing. That's a whole different thing.
They're like some fucking leather BDSM.
Yeah, it's also it's a weird fetish. I looked it up. It's like yikes.
Yeah.
Could somebody please Google me or like send me what do these look like? I'm sorry, I'm new to that.
Don't look it up, Jack.
It's like how yesterday we introduced Soma to Mersuits.
I am learning new things today.
Yes, I am.
But yeah, I get what you mean with that anthracite. I mean,
thought mersuits meant stuff like mermaids,
Stop.
but oh no, it was not that at all.
Anthracite mentioned that he hates for mersuits.
Well, I mean that's.
What do you hate more? Do you hate the dog leather things, or do you hate the mersuits more?
Mersuits, yeah, I definitely hate mersuits.
Dog leather the most.
Mersuits.
I hate.
I don't also like the fact that some mersuiters could bring that to a con and then they could end up hugging a kid and it's like, no.
Oh, fuck, no.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me look it up just so I can get an idea of what the hell are y'all talking about.
No, don't.
Please get back on the topic of TV.
Yeah, let's get back on the topic. So, that's the worst con for you.
That's probably no. I mean, it gets there's. I remember we were watching because it was a Halloween con. So we were watching Rocky Horror Picture Show by the pool.
Okay.
And then 3 dudes in like these skin tight like latex, like dog or skunk or dragon costumes.
Oh
or whatever.
God.
And they have rubber masks on too. And they just go wading around in the pool with these skin tight like rubber suits, and it's so like weird.
It's like
at that point it gets surreal because nobody else is caring at all. Everyone's just like watching the movie.
Yeah.
And there's just these 3 dudes like wading around the pool with these like the weirdest costumes that you can even ever acquire on, and no one's even caring.
Like I get you gotta express yourself, but like
not that much.
I can't imagine myself. You can't even pay me $100 to walk around in skin tight leather like that. I couldn't. I really couldn't. Like
you couldn't pay me $100 to walk around in spandex.
Seems like it'd be just uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's their fetish, so they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. If the thing about
Lovely.
the only thing I hate about furries is that they welcome degeneracy. They enable degenerate like behaviors and. Would you agree with that, Anthracite?
That's pretty much what furries are, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few bad like examples of furries, but I choose to actually look at the better side of the fandom.
Which I'm glad you do.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what your original name was. You changed your name to Steven.
Yeah, that's because I changed my name to my actual name.
Your real name's Steven?
Motherfucker. I will end you.
Oh, it's Furby. It's Furby. Now I remember it's Furby.
Was.
His name is Steve.
You laughing?
Minecraft.
Well, I know your real name. It's worse than Steve.
All right, stop. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're on the other foot, motherfucker.
Hit him, Donnie.
What?
You just got burned.
Donnie, you got a funny name as well.
It's common.
It's too common. That's the problem.
What's your name, Donnie?
What?
Jennifer.
I almost named my dog Cheese.
No.
We all know Casey's real name. It's Casey.
But it's spelled.
Wow.
Differently.
What a surprise.
Casey, you've been exposed.
Well, wait.
Casey, do you?
Exposed for over 10 years.
By the way, Casey, do you have any questions for Anthracite about? the fursuit thing?
Not. Oh, how long have you been doing this, like, fursuit stuff?
Since the middle of 2017. That's when I was able.
Oh, so you're like brand new to all this.
I mean, that's like.
That's when I became a furry.
Ago, so I guess you.
Because when I went to Philadelphia for the first time, I was nervous and stuff. So, like, but when I got the chance to really talk with these people, hang out with dance with these people, I mean, these guys, they do pretty lit parties. If only there were more people there at the raves. I really started to really want to become a part of this community, and that's what happened. I joined in the furry fandom, made my own fursona, and here I am today. But I'm like, I have a level. There are levels of being involved in the fandom. Like, you be the mild one, in between, and just batshit crazy. Like, you're like, you speak in uwu. Like,
hello, how is you doing? Notices your face.
Are you sure it's your face? Notices something else.
You're right. I was whining. I was looking at your bulge.
God damn it.
Funny enough, despite how chill and laid back Anthracite is, his license plate is an uwu.
Yo, I'm legit jealous now.
Start off in the.
How much did you have to pay to get it to be an uwu?
It's like $80.
$80?
Yeah.
You paid $80 to have an uwu on your license plate.
I mean, whoa, and zero.
What's wrong with you?
No, he's the real MVP.
He's a real MVP, man.
Like,
and it's not like
I dare a nigga to go up to him and say some shit. Like,
he's 6'3".
Exactly.
I don't know if he
That's why he's
fights.
real MVP.
I won't even fuck with this dude if he's 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, me either.
Props.
But yeah, if I
You
go,
got props.
yeah, but if I go to Philadelphia, I will be there, and if I see a car that has a uwu, I'll know whose car it is at least.
It stands out already because it's a.
But
green.
you're at for.
There might be
Philadelphia,
more. Yeah, there might be some
just
other
one
furries.
uwu car.
I'm sure there's more than just one uwu car. There
No,
might
I mean,
be
there's-
there might
there's-
be like two uwus, or the other faces maybe.
Well, the thing is, I've been trying to find. I mean, I know there's an OO and a 0W0 in PA, but I never can find them.
What, you could just get one custom made, right? Or
Well, no, there's only one of each kind of plate. Two people can't have the same plate.
yeah. So you're the only one
Wait.
that has the UWU one, right?
Yeah.
You have the
The only
closed
one.
eyes uwu.
Okay, so is it two people in each state? Because I think I know, like, other states. I know if a license plate is done in the same. Yeah, I figured that it has to be in state.
One person in each state can have the same license plate. I mean.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go
That
ahead
makes
and
more
talk about something else that I'm sure plenty of people are curious of. The cost, the money, the commissions.
Holy shit.
Yeah. How much did
How do
your...
you piss in those things?
Yeah. What was that, Stitch?
How do you go to the bathroom with those things?
You take it. Well, I mean,
I'm sure he has to take
Like,
it.
is it like a 3-piece suit or a 1-piece? I'm new to this.
His
whole
is a
shit.
2-piece, right?
Yeah, so mine's a 2-piece. So I mean, I sort of just like pull down the pants, honestly, but put the head on top of the paper towel dispenser, and then gloves on top of the head.
I can't imagine. All you see at the top of the head is just fur, and the lower half is just human skin. You just see boxers and hairy legs, and you're just.
Well, I mean, honestly,
No, I'm just saying, Anthracite. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just gonna.
For the 1-piece suits, the zipper is usually in the front for those, so they would just zipper down the front zipper and then sort of like take their arms out of the sleeves and then use the bathroom.
I remember when I had to go to the bathroom, take a piss. I get so lazy, I don't even take off the TV head. I just piss with it on. I just. It's like literally, you don't have to do anything. If I'm wearing normal clothes already, and since I can see just fine, I can either pee by the toilet or pee by the urinal. I've actually peed by the urinal, and I remember a guy being next to me, and he was looking at me.
Just like you walk into a bathroom.
and you just see some dude with a big ass box on his head taking a piss.
What?
I get kind of confused too.
I remember I love making the bathroom encounters so awkward or funny. I remember walking to a bathroom and somebody would be like, "Whoa, that's cool, man. See you around." Some of them would just stare or something. It'd be really funny.
Anthracite, I have another question. What is your most memorable experience with the locals outside of the
Yeah, the
convention
normies.
center?
We call them
yeah.
normies. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't think I got pretty bored at Anthracon because there's not a whole lot of stuff to do. At convention,
Really?
You know?
Bored of
I had some free time in
Anthracon?
suit, and I would walk down the street, and I mean, you know, the first place I went was an Arby's, and I got a snack there, and the guy gave me a free large drink because I was really like I was like dying in this fursuit.
Yeah.
And you know they know the convention's going on because they're like a block away from it, so they're like, yeah, cool. You know?
That's awesome.
Ah.
I've
Then
been
I started
given
walking
given money for wearing my TV head time to time a little bit. I remember recently at Sakura Sunday, I was talking with these group of teenagers. These guys are cool though, and they really like my TV head. And I was making them laugh, talking, doing my shit. And they were like, "Yeah, take off your head, take off your head." I'll be like, "Oh, you gotta pay me then." And then like, I made it a joke, but they literally started getting their wallets out, and they gave me ones like I was a stripper. And I was like, "Oh shit." So I took my head off. I don't know how many ones I got. I think I got like what, $7?
$1,000 to remove your pants.
Yo, if I got paid $1,000 to remove my TV head at some places, I'd do it all the time. Legit.
Oh yeah, 100.
Like, what's under there? Like, and then when they see my face, they're like, "Oh, it's what I expected." I'm like, "Excuse you?"
Yeah, like what?
No, if I pulled off some shit like that, they would not expect it.
They'd be like, "Ew, you look, you look."
Put it back on.
You look like something.
Put it back on.
Put it back on. I remember being told at some points, like, where I take off the TV head for a while, when I hang out with some people, they're like, "Dude, I'm not used to you without the head, man." I'm like, "Oh, is that like an insult?"
Damn.
Or... It's not really an insult. It's kind of true. Like, if you've known me and seen me with the TV head most of the time, and then you see me without it, it's a whole nother person. I'm a whole nother person without it. But when I have that TV head on, I'm just like happy as shit. I'm playful and I get into character and I act like a robot and all that stuff. But when I take it off, I'm my old self again. You know?
You know, some fursuits, it's the same thing. You know?
But less cool. I noticed there's this effect. It's so weird. When you don't dress up at a con, you're not a celebrity. Put on a cosplay, everyone looks at you. They want pictures with you. They want to interview you. And you're like, damn, I'm sexy as fuck. Like,
Legit.
legit.
You look into a mirror and you realize the sad truth.
Yeah, when you look at oh my god. I mean, I've got depressed at times from just taking off the monitor head, and after I come home, I'm just like, this sucks, man. I gotta go back to my normie life. Like, this sucks.
Yeah, they call that post-con depression.
Post-con depression. I think
Post-con depression.
We should make that a topic for next podcast, should we? I think that'd be a good one. No?
Yo.
Yes? Anybody agree? Anybody agree on that?
Yes.
I didn't even hear that because I
I
actually
don't really know if I had post-con depression.
I don't know if that's enough for one topic.
Could be like a subtopic of one.
All right, well, whatever you guys want to talk about next time, we will. But we only got like 14 minutes left, so we're gonna get back to the question I was trying to ask before: the money, the cost to make fursuits and to buy them. How much?
I've heard they go for around $1,000.
All right, Steven, I'm asking Anthracite.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
Well, I mean, of course, it's all about the quality, the maker, the type.
Yeah, of course. So how much does yours cost?
I mean, to make mine, just the materials, it costs like $600, $800 in materials, maybe. They need to be perfect track, but it's just an estimate.
Shit, that's a lot. Now let's say out of nowhere, I made it. Let's say, I just throw $1,200 at you. I want to buy your fursuit. Let's just say I want to buy your fursuit out of nowhere, and I throw money at you. How much money would it cost to buy your fursuit today?
Well, I'm just gonna. I mean, I wouldn't sell mine, of course, but
But let's say you wanted to.
that type of fursuit, like a full digitigrade suit, similar to mine, would be about like 1,500 to 2,000,
Ooh.
depending on the maker.
Yo. Damn. And
I mean,
you said you told me on a phone call that you've got commissioned to make fursuits. Is that true or?
You cut out there for a second.
Oh, all right. Let me repeat myself. I might be losing connection. I said, do you have you gotten commissioned to make fursuits before?
You're still cutting out. I don't know what's going on.
Ugh, connection. Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?
I can hear you right now.
All right. I said, do you get commissioned to make fursuits?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm currently working on the first two commissions I've gotten.
Okay. And how much do you get paid?
For the first one, I think it was 1,700.
$1,700?
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta tell you something, folks. If you want to make a decent living as a furry part of the fandom, make fursuits, and if you're an artist, double that money, and boom, you can make a literal living. You can live off that. That's. I mean, that's a lot of money.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's a lot of money.
Not easy, especially if you're looking for customers willing to pay
yeah,
for
of course you have to pay for materials. But if you have the materials already ready and good to go, and if you got the free time, and you've got the money, you're making money there. Especially if you're a famous fursuit maker. Damn. Like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Get there first.
the most expensive fursuit I've ever seen was $9,000.
What?
Why?
It wasn't even custom. It was just like they made it and they were selling. And that's literally just all the maker. That's because they were a famous maker.
Fame gets to people's heads, I tell you.
No, I mean, it's not all about the quality of the fursuit, funny enough. It's about how much fame the maker has.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, that's how a lot of stuff is. I mean,
yeah.
like some little artist could do some like beautiful masterpiece, but it's never going to be worth as much as a Picasso.
Reminds me of my art. Like, I sell my art, like a full digital, full body drawings, like what, $35? But like a half body sketch from me is like $15. So, like, I make my prices different, of course, varying on different levels of effort and what you choose from. So now we know that this whole fursuit thing is like really expensive, you know. Yeah. But and there's all types of them. I like the ones with the LEDs. I've seen one with like moving eyes, even. Like, that's really cool.
I don't even know how they do those, because there's some people that just put all their cards on the electronics.
They're just so talented. I don't know how the fuck they do it. It's so amazing. That's talent. That's one thing I really, really appreciate about the furry fandom. Some of them are really talented with that shit. And that's really,
I love
that's really
the
good.
people who actually like do full on the feral suits, who like are on full four
the four legs,
and they still manage to get like their head up in the front part. Like, they actually use like robotics and stuff like that for it.
You ever see the one that shuffled in the dance? I seen a gif of it. It's fucking funny as hell. It's awesome as well. It's a fursuit, and I think it's like a horse or something, and it's just shuffling. It was so cool. No, I don't think it was shuffling. I think it was like prancing around, and it was kind of lit. It's really quiet as well. Where are the people at? Hello?
I don't know.
We're here.
We're in our fursuits. We'll be right back.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
So,
fursuits.
so does anybody have any... So before we close the podcast in a few minutes, does anybody have any other further questions or anything else you'd like to discuss?
I learned a lot of new things today.
You learned something new today?
I'm not a furry. I don't know this shit.
Well, you don't have to be a furry to join the podcast.
I feel so uncultured around you.
You're fine. But yeah, Anthracite. So did you enjoy your time here, and do you like being here?
It's pretty neat.
Oh, good.
I know, right?
I know, right? Well, I still. So, what are your future plans? Let's ask one more question. What are your future plans? Do you plan to update your fursuit? Do you plan to sell more fursuits? And I know I talked about in the beginning. You said you're alone, but do you also plan on making new friends as well?
Yeah, I'm always doing that.
All right, good. So
Nice to know.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm playing. I made a T-shirt company, like a furry T-shirt company.
Oh yeah, talk about that real quick before we wrap things up.
It's given me a lot of stress, of course, like anything would, but I don't know.
Well, if it
Because
makes you feel better, I myself would buy a shirt. Donnie, would you buy a shirt?
Of what?
Oh shit. Yeah, right. What are the shirts of?
I don't even know. They're just like random furry designs I'm trying to come up with.
Well, if you advertise it in our advertisements text channel, show off what it is, and if people like it, I'm sure they would buy it.
Yeah, if I ever get around to actually finishing the website and then making the shirts.
All right, so listen up, folks. If you want some cool furry shirts from this guy, definitely go to the advertisements channel. If you aren't on my Discord, if you want to join my Discord, be sure to message me or leave a comment below. This is Atlas signing off, and I hope you guys have a nice time. Thank you again for coming, Anthracite.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Everyone say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I...